Hello and a very warm welcome to the brand new edition of the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the only show where we bring you important unstarred questions asked by the members of the upper house during the ongoing budget session of Parliament and the response given by the government. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat, Kain.
Well, thanks Kriti and thanks to our viewers. So let's begin with the show.
And the first question that we've picked up for you in this edition of the Question Hour show is from member Vanna Chavan. And this question is to the Ministry of Defence. And the member has asked the government whether it is considering to allow women to hold commanding posts in armed forces.
Replying to the query, the ministry said that Indian Army is committed to comply to the judgment of Honourable Supreme Court passed on 17 February this year, granting permanent commission to women officers as per the qualifications, professional experiences, specialisation and organisation requirement. The commanding post in Indian Air Force are decided purely on merit. There is no embargo for detailment of women officers for commanding officers' position in the IAF. Now, male and female officers inducted in the Navy in various branches, cadres, or specialization under similar schemes are treated at par and without discrimination for posting or billeting. Well, moving on to next question that was asked by member Prabhakar Reddy Vemareddy from Ministry of Coal. The member asked about details of critical factors for coal production in the country.
Responding to this question, the government says that major critical factors for coal production include land acquisition, physical possession of land, rehabilitation and resettlement, forest clearance, environment clearance, evacuation and infrastructure as well. The government further says that the focus is on accelerating domestic coal production through allocation of more coal blocks and also pursuing with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for early environment clearances and state governments for coordinated efforts and also for assistance and land acquisition and also coordination with the railways for putting in place suitable evacuation infrastructure. The government further says that due to persistent efforts, all India raw coal production has increased from 565.77 million tonnes in the year 2013-14 to 730.35 million tonnes in the year 2018-19. Absolute increase in all India coal production during this period was 164.58 million tonnes as compared to an increase of 73.0 million tonnes achieved in the preceding years, that is from the year 2008-9 to 2013-14. Coal India Limited has also increased its production from 462.41 million tonnes in 2013-14 to 606.89 million tonnes in the year 2018-19, an absolute increase of 144.48 million tonnes as compared to the increase of coal production of 58.68 million tonnes between the years 2008 and 9 and 2013 and 14. Let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member T. Subirami Reddy, and this question is to the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. And Mr. Reddy has asked the government whether the projects worth more than 3 lakh crore have been taken up recently for a review for fast-tracking them.
Responding to the question, the ministry said the review of all stuck or delayed project and major ongoing projects was taken in January this year by Honourable Minister with all the stakeholders to resolve the pending issues and fast-track the projects. Various steps and policy initiatives are taken from time to time for expanding road projects. To expedite completion of these projects, various steps have been taken, which include streamlining of land acquisition and environmental clearances, exit for equity investors, premium reschedulement, close coordination with other ministries, revamping of dispute resolution mechanism, frequent review at various levels. Now, review meetings are taken regularly by ministers, secretary and DG, RD and SS with project developers, state governments, regional officers, concessionaires, contractors, bankers to make construction of projects hassle-free. Further, online monitoring of projects are held through Project Monitoring Information System portal in the ministry. Well, moving on, next question was asked by member Shanta Chetri from Ministry of Minority Affairs. The member asked about total number of master artisans and craftsmen benefited so far across India through Hunar Haat initiatives.
Well, the government has given an elaborate reply to this question, and the government goes on to say that Ministry of Minority Affairs launched Upgrading the Skills and Training in Traditional Arts and Crafts and Development Scheme on 14th of May 2015 to preserve the rich heritage of traditional arts and crafts of minorities. Hunar Haat is being implemented since the year 2016-17 as a component of this scheme. The Hunar Haat is an effective platform wherein opportunity is given to minority artisans, craftsmen and culinary experts from across the country to showcase and market their finest handicraft and exquisitely crafted indigenous products. So far, 2,451 craftsmen or artisans or culinary experts, including 96 craftsmen, artisans and culinary experts from West Bengal have been directly benefited under the Hunar Haat component of the Ustad scheme. Hunar Haats have generated employment and employment opportunities for more than 3 lakh artisans or craftspersons or culinary experts and associated persons and have strengthened their market linkage in 20 Hunar Haats organized so far through National Minorities Development and Finance Corporation and Maulana Azad Education Foundation since November 2016 at India International Trade Fair, New Delhi, Baba Kharak Singh Marg, New Delhi, Puducherry, Mumbai, Prayagraj, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Indore, India Gate Lawns, New Delhi, and since 2016-17, an amount of 25.45 crore has been spent towards organizing the Hunar Haat component of the Ustad scheme. Let's move on to the last question of this edition of the Question Hour show. This has been asked by member Ahmed Hassan, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And Mr. Hassan has asked the government whether sports authorities exercise autonomy in the selection of sports persons in various games.
Well, replying in affirmative, the government said that Sports Association and Sports Federation enjoy full autonomy in selection of sportsperson for various games and events. The government doesn't interfere in selection process for sportsperson. The schemes of Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, assistance to National Sports Federation and Target Olympic Podium scheme support the identified promising sportsperson, including those belonging to weaker section of society in terms of modern sports sciences, exposure in broad under experts of respective sports discipline and participation in international events and competition recognized by Indian Olympic Committee. Apart from this, recently this ministry has merged various schemes under Sports Authority of India and established 23 national centers of excellence across country to impart specialized training to promising athletes by providing state-of-art infrastructure and training facilities, sports science, backup, diet prescribed by nutritionists with overall supervision of best coaches, qualified support staff and high-performance directors.
Well, that's all we had for our viewers in this edition of the Question Hour show. On the other side, Prashnikal with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Please don't go anywhere.